Thanks for coming out to Pitch Day for 100K. It's my favorite day. Every 2 weeks, we get to hear companies pitch to us for investment and for feedback and questions from our audience here in the room and online. So we're going to hear from Val at BrakeSens today. StartUpNV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit accelerator and incubator. We operate 7 programs for entrepreneurs and 4 for-profit investment funds. Government grants and corporate sponsors support our nonprofit mission in the short term. Over the long term, we're supported by the accelerator companies who pledge a teeny tiny little bit of equity to the nonprofit, and we hope that adds up to a lot of money over the years, and that's sort of the long-term vision for how we'll be supported in the program. Now, we run Pitch Day for 100K every other Wednesday fortnightly, if you will, where companies pitch for the Q&A from this audience and the audience online. It also comes with a possible investment from our investing fund, FounderNV. Now that gets added to by our investor syndicate, and then all of that money gets matched by the state of Nevada. So if we decide to invest, whatever we invest from the fund, from our syndicate, all of it gets matched by the Nevada's SSBCI program. Since 2021, our funds and our syndicate have completed 30 transactions. Actually, no, it's just upped by one this week. 31 transactions in 20 companies, directly investing just under $9.5 million. Partners like GoEd and other interested partners have invested alongside us, making our total investment about $30 million all in. That's an average of about $500,000 per investment if you divide that all out, or about $1.5 million per company. Now, that includes all the partner investments as well. Now, our $9.5 million that we've invested directly is currently worth about $25.5 million. So not quite 3x, but close to it. So it's a pretty good track record for a group that's only been around since 2021. We're standing tall among the folks who have been investing for the last few years. Now for our legal disclaimer, the founder pitching today for investment is pitching to our venture funds and our syndicate. And they all comply with the SEC and Nevada certified investor regulations. We invite the community out online and here in the room to attend, kind of like going to Shark Tank, but live and hopefully a little nicer. And so the important point here is that this pitch today is not a general solicitation to the public. The pitch is to our investors, and the public just happens to hear it. Our nonprofit work would not be possible without the financial help from grants and sponsors from organizations like the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and the USDA. Really, thank you for your support. So one announcement today, and that is Startup Week Las Vegas is October 15th through the 19th. We are accepting speaker submissions through August 16th. So we're looking for inspiring speakers to share their knowledge on startups, innovation, and more. Learn more and apply at lvstartupweek.com. And that's lvstartupweek.com. Okay, so Val, I'm going to hand this off to you.
Hi, thank you. As mentioned, my name is Val Korman. I'm actually a CEO of BrakeSens, and I'm hoping to get you interested into the exciting world of commercial truck breakware sensing. I'm sure all of you are eager to learn more. So why? Why do we need to worry about breakware sensing? First off, if we remove driver issues, drugs, alcohol, fatigue, the #1 cause of accidents in commercial trucking is brake failure. Enough so we modify our highway systems for safe exit ramps in areas with mountains. Nevada having their fair share of those. Now, of those accidents, nationally, 2022, over 120,000 accidents with 6,000 fatalities. Beyond the loss of property and life, there's a legal implication for those numbers. That's per instance. So this is an issue. This is 80 tons going 65 miles an hour, needs over 500 feet to stop. It's very unforgiving in case of an accident. I believe the news, it hasn't come out yet what the cause is, but there's an issue with the truck in California causing issues with people going to and from on I-50. So this is a real close to home issue. Nevada, because of the mountains, actually is a little bit above these national average numbers, primarily for that advantage. Now, there are regulations, there is requirements, but enforcement in the US is challenging. 2023, they did a brake safety week, where they did a week-long traffic stops. 60% of vehicles stopped were in violation. So this is what's on the road with you as you drive with your family or just to and from work positions. This is what it is an issue. Now, enter science. K-Science is a Huntsville-based R&D company, developed a sensor primarily for aerospace applications. So this was meant to measure wear and erosion in high energy, high thermal energy materials. So, what you can't see closely, but I can hopefully see it online. So you take two optical fibers, one that's basically a standard optical fiber and one that's been modified to be poorer performing, has more loss. By together, they're sort of seeing the same thermal source, the same excitation. And from that, if you all remember your college physics, you can apply Beer's law, which actually gives you a way to calculate length from that. And this basis is patented by K-Sciences, which is licensed by BrakeSens. Now, traction-wise, on the aerospace side, this has generated about $700,000 in revenue, spanning from Siemens Power, which are these large power generating turbines, a couple projects with NASA, and currently it's an active program for the Missile Defense Agency in their hypersonics program, basically measuring materials of things that go bump in the night. Now, K-Sciences asked the question, can this be used commercially? And commercial trucking kind of jumped out, but it has other applications. Autonomous vehicles, they're heavier. There's no human to hear a brake squeal, so you need some way to tell the vehicle that your brakes do need attention. Railroad industry, aviation industry, and also a lot of industrial machine applications. But the low-hanging fruit, the easiest to implement, is commercial trucking. I presented this at the sort of National Brakes, Automotive Society of Automotive Engineers conference. Got a very strong support. Now, of that, trucking automotive sensors, it's an interesting industry. They very tough to get them to innovate. They love a product that's qualified, they can use. They love that. What they don't do is take technology and push it forward. If it wasn't for the Elon Musk of the world, Ford would not have an EV vehicle. It took someone to kind of light a fire under them, as you can predict. But we did make two important partnerships. Volvo Trucking, they want to be the safest vehicle on the road, and they want to be the most expensive vehicle on the road. I'm sure that's not their lead, but they do like that. But also Frale. Now, Frale is it's a large company, one of the dominant brake quality material testing companies. So new brake materials, they test in their facilities, and also they provide quality in manufacture for most brake manufacturers in the US and Europe. They have an interest in our technology as using it for the application, but in return, we get the qualification for it at a greatly reduced cost, so we're basically partnered with them. So we did our own lab tests. We sort of do what we can do. We had this on a small car. We built our initial design work. Everything was positive. This has an application in commercial trucking. Now, so what? Well, I mentioned there's a loss of life and there's an associated cost with it, but it's also over $5 billion market that's growing. This is sort of a market not a lot of people are aware of, and this is not just trucking sensors. This is brake wear sensors specifically for commercial trucking. And the current technology we're fighting against is this bundle of wire. It's called a wire sensor, which is, for my world, the most primitive sensor you can create. It's a wire that sits at the 80% level of your brake. When your brake gets cut, it gives you a banana, no banana signal, meaning a red light nag that says your brakes. The sensor, the technology we're talking about here, can provide continuous measurement from 0 to 100%, but because we have an optical window into that hot environment, we can actually see temperature. And that ends up being almost as valuable as continuous brake wear. Trucks have an issue when they reach a certain temperature, which hence the mountain, going downhill mountain, they have a catastrophic shedding event where basically your brakes just melt no matter how much you have left, right? So providing that early warning of elevated temperature is almost as valuable to providing wear indication. Now, when you hear fiber optics, you think cost materials. Now, if I'm running a cable across the Atlantic, sure, I need a lot of it. But we're talking about $100 per kilometer ends up being pennies per centimeter, which is sort of what we're looking at for this application. So really, the fiber optic cost is not the problem. The cost, like most automotive sensors, is the stupid plastic connector. It has certain environments, it has to meet those, and that's the bulk of our cost is the plastic connector, nothing to do with the science. We can actually meet a low manufacturing cost, fairly simple to do, and we can do that. And like I said, this is a growing market where we believe we have a great solution. Now, what our plan is, we have to complete some R&D. Mainly, this is taking bench prototypes and making kind of a pre-manufactured model that we can then test with, I mentioned, our Farley partners. And that testing is going to lead to a manufactured unit that then we're going to want to do a contract run, want to pull together 25 to 50,000 units. And then with that, we'll reach out to our partners we talked about and Volvo Trucking, and hopefully we have a few more under our belt at that point. And then we'll begin through sale. Once we get the qualification of those units, we'll begin our sales channel through distribution networks. Now, this industry, particularly in the last 5 years, has been rife with M&A activity. They've been sort of a lot of consolidation, breakaway sensor. Part of this is the newest cutting edge sensor this industry is bringing forward to the forefront is, now get this, it's a sensor with 2 wires, one at 80% and one like at 40%. That is sort of their newest innovation in 20 years that we're competing against. We are slicing the bread in this industry compared to what they're used to. So our plan is to get initial interest, get qualification, get this used by an integration partner, and we're looking for a quick exit. Kind of in a 2-year window, looking for about 25 to 30 million exit. If not, we're prepared to set up manufacturing, and just go to distribution channels and sell this directly. So here's the crystal ball slide. I don't put a lot of stock into it, as I don't know anyone should. But primarily, the first 25 to 50,000 units we manufacture, we're probably going to produce as a cost. We're not expecting to make money. It's going to be a contract run in Nevada. We'll probably do a contract, it's like contract manufacturing, so it's going to be a little higher cost per unit, but it's enough to get units, get them vetted, get them packaged, and get them out to our customers. After that, the orange line takes over, and that's our internal manufacturing line, controlled ourselves, stepped up to various distribution channels. Now, why me, right? So my background is physics and optical science engineering. Ta-da, right? But on the bottom, more importantly, I did 8 years sensor development for NASA. Bona fide rocket scientist, built sensors for various rocket propulsion systems, basically various uncooperative environments, this included. Also done about 4 years with Missile Defense Agency, solving problems that go bump in the night in the government sector. I worked at K-Sciences, ran that for 17 years, bootstrapped it to where it is now, which is where this technology came from, and we're spinning this off, bringing it to Nevada. I got a bunch of patents for various applications. I'm also involved in the entrepreneur ecosystem on the Huntsville side, and we're entering the Nevada side, primarily various forms of that. G Beta alumni, and I'm currently in the generator program. So that's my background, that's where I come from. So a little bit of what I've done previously. So fundraise side, K-Science is a bootstrap, but we did pull in $300,000, pretty much friends and family of some kind of other projects. One of our other techs, medical device space, did really well with a Dallas-based company. I've worked closely with them, and I've actually helped them raise $10.5 million. So I've kind of worn that hat, done the rounds, met my fair share of bajillionaires. Currently, K-Sciences, we're closing a $5 million round. This is our first kind of VC close, and we're excited about it. Now, BrakeSens is a spinoff, has not raised money yet, it's new, bringing to Nevada, and that's why we're here. So we're looking for $1.5 million out of $5 million valuation. I appreciate your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
So thanks very much, Val, for coming out today. Super interesting. I have a few ideas that I maybe want to introduce to your brain after we're off the air here. Thanks for everybody that's come out here in the room today. So just a few program notes to wrap things up. Investors, if you're curious about how to be an investor in companies like this or in this company, reach out to us. We have 4 different ways that we can help investors out with FundNV, our pre-seed fund, the fund we're talking about today. Angel NV, our teaching fund that we do every spring, 1864, which is our seed fund that invests bigger amounts of money in companies that are a little bit more mature. And then once you've done any investment with us, you become part of our investor syndicate, and you get all sorts of interesting opportunities put in front of you. So check out the investor page at startupnv.org for more on that, and get engaged with us if you would like to find out more information. And thanks again, Val, for coming out today. To everybody who's listened in, we'll see you back here in 2 weeks with 2 additional Nevada startups. And until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too.